Hi, guys. I'm going to quickly walk you through how to do your final prompt essay outline. And I'm just really going to talk you through the directions, nothing major in the sense of how to set it up. If you have really deep or complex questions, don't hesitate to email me at my school email address. But the final prompt is based on the essential question of the class, which has been our driving question for all of our units of study in American Society 2. Reminder that the final question is America the land of opportunity? And you're going to take a side of this question. In the past, I've often had you take a negative or a positive side when looking at aspects of our units of study. But for this final essay, you're going to take all the information from all of our major units of study and make a determination based upon the fact of whether or not you think from this era of history is America actually the land of opportunity. And the side that you choose, you must make sure to stick to it. You are not allowed to go back and forth and be wishy-washy. For this particular essay, I would like you to determine whether or not you agree that it's the land of opportunity, and then everything you do should be to prove that statement correct. So be very careful in your specs and analysis, because all of your analysis statement should support the side that you're on. It should not go back and forth. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do on the next page is you're actually going to develop a thesis for the question on the outline. Before you can develop this thesis, though, you need to determine which events and which forms of opportunity you're going to talk about. And don't forget to develop a closing sentence when you're done. The day of the final, you'll actually create an introduction paragraph, and the introduction paragraph will include a definition for the word opportunity. You'll introduce the thesis that is from this outline, and then you'll introduce your thesis, should it, like I said, and mention the 5 types of opportunity. And then you will introduce the 5 historical events that you're going to choose, because what you're going to find is for step 2 that I've given you units, I haven't given you specific events. And your job is to go through your notes, all the classwork that you've done, and find 5 specific events that fall under each of these units to prove whether or not America is the land of opportunity. So that leads me to step 2. In step 2, you're going to find 5 specific examples to analyze in regard to your thesis. You need to make sure that the events that you choose support the side of the thesis that you're taking. If America is the land of opportunity, you want to make sure that you find specific examples that would classify the opportunity that you're trying to seek. Now, remember, one of the things that we've worked on this trimester is that opportunity is a very large, overarching word. And as part of what you're going to do for this final is you need to find 5 different classifications of opportunity for each piece of evidence. I've put a list of the opportunities highlighted in blue. These can include, but are not limited to, social, political, technological, economic, military, physical, global, judicial, or psychological opportunities. So what do I mean by that? If I were to find an antebellum era specific example, I could look at, for instance, the Mexican-American War. I would look at the war and determine, based on my fact about it, what form of opportunity does it fall under? Now, it really depends on how you look at it. Am I looking at it from a military lens? Am I looking at it from an economic lens? Am I looking at it from a geographical lens, which is another example, put that word in, geographical. Meaning, did we get expansion? And once that lens is used, so if I were to use political here, I cannot use it anywhere else, because I want you to broaden the lenses of opportunity that you're looking at and really try to seek out more than just political, more than just military. Now, obviously, if you're talking about a war, might be behoove you to look at, when you're looking at the Civil War, to think about military. Physical could work, physical being the person, injuries, medical care, etc. But if you use political here, you can't use it again. You'll notice that I didn't classify, nor did I give you specific events. I'm allowing you anything. Antebellum means before the Civil War. Any topic you want to look at that you think will build your answer, it has to be something you learned in class, but it's open to you. The Civil War, remember, we looked at it through a different lens. We didn't look at particular battles in per se. We only really looked at glory, the rights of African Americans. We looked at women's roles. You had your entire documentary. Reconstruction, think about the Reconstruction task that you did in class, where you looked at all the different perspectives. Some of you looked at the idea of the freeing of slaves, the rise of the KKK, depending on what you want to think about. Gilded Age and Progressive Era, I don't mind which era you look at. Obviously, one's probably going to benefit one side as opposed to the other. That's why I put them both together. And then American imperialism in our last little discussion on World War I. You're going to want to find a topic from there. I want to remind you, though, when I say a unit of study, For a specific example, you want to make sure that it's an actual event and it has detail to it. You need to find a quote that is not opinioned, unbiased, and would serve as a specific example. And your citation would actually be from whatever document it came from, textbook page, or the title of the worksheet that you got the information from. This is not reinventing the wheel, though. A lot of these examples you'll have in your notes, and we've done tons of writing prompts for practice to get ready for the final. Now, I purposely have had you take both sides of the argument. So if you decide that America is not the land of opportunity, some of your writing prompts may not work because I had you look at it from the opportunity side, whereas vice versa, the same may happen. If you're saying it is the land of opportunity, some of your writing prompts purposely took the negative side. So just be mindful of that. Don't just copy and paste. Make sure you're doing it with purpose. And then step 3, finally, you're going to complete the outline on the next page. My suggestion is start with finding your specs first. Classify your specs with a type of opportunity, put them on the document, make sure it's unbiased, and cite. Then you're going to create what is your A, B, C, D, and E statements. And remember, the idea of this is that you will develop your thesis. So after you find your specs, develop your thesis. America is the land of opportunity due to social, economic, political, whatever the 5 choices are. From there, create your A, B, C, D, and E statements. And what this does will narrow down into what your event is about. So if you found a quote about the Mexican-American War, your A statement is not simply just the Mexican-American War impacted social opportunity. You have to define to the reader what is the Mexican-American War. So this would be defining the what, the why, the important facts, etc. Okay? And then your analysis statement. This is the most important piece of your writing when it comes to competency 1, because this is the cause and effect. You're clearly saying that you prove that America is the land of opportunity or not. Your analysis statement describes why, the classification type of opportunity, and how it proves the thesis. So if I had a quote about the Mexican-American War, and I found a quote that talked about economic opportunities gained, for instance, or geographical opportunity, the United States added 627,000 acres of land. That's not an accurate fact. My analysis would explain either this provided Americans geographical opportunity, which made America the land of opportunity because why, or it took away opportunity because why. Most of your analysis statements should have a because statement and should remind the reader of the type of opportunity you're trying to prove. Don't just say opportunity. Classify it, political, geographical, and once it's classified once, you cannot use it again. So be very careful of that. Okay, so on the next page is your outline. This is actually where you're going to start typing your information. This needs to be completed before the day of the final, and it is a graded part of your final. This is the largest component of your final. It covers all 3 competencies. So please make sure to complete it and take it seriously. There will be days in class that we will work on this as part of our prep. And as part of that, I will also provide feedback. The more you can do ahead of time, the more feedback I can give you to make sure you're on the right track. If you wait till the last minute, then you'll have to take whatever comes your way as a grade if it's not to the quality that I'm looking for. All right, well, good luck on your final, and please email me if you have any questions.